Well, hello there. It seems that my string of perfect and beautiful Saturdays for hiking this fall has come to a bit of a conclusion. Not that the hiking has stopped, but today it is definitely less than perfect conditions, shall we say. It is cool, overcast, and rainy. So I have chosen today to come out to a new park, new trail system for me. I am exploring the Fort Yargo State Park, doing the outer loop trail of that with possible extensions into some of the other smaller trails that are part of the overall network here. One silver lining to the weather conditions is that this trail is normally mixed use with a high popularity with mountain bikers, but because of the rain, it's closed to bikes today. So that's one obstacle I don't have to dodge. I can concentrate on the trail, keeping my footing in the wet conditions, and enjoying and experiencing all the sights in this new location. So I'm looking forward to that. We'll persevere despite the weather and enjoy ourselves today. Well, the rain has eased up enough that I put the poncho away and was able to get some camera action going. So I'll give you a little bit of sense of what the trail is like today. I'm about 2.5 miles in right now, and spent a good chunk of that time on the phone with my parents, catching up with them, and making plans for the upcoming Thanksgiving visit that we will be making to go down and see them. So hasn't been a whole lot of traffic out here today. Obviously, as I mentioned before, the bikes are not present. There have been a few people out hiking, even one guy trail running out here, but for the most part I'm once again alone in the woods, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, and I appreciate the solitude as much as I appreciate when I have a little social interaction. But yeah, the trail has been a bit wet and muddy. Nothing I haven't really been able to navigate around yet though, so I've appreciated that. It does seem like the trail has pretty good runoff for the most part, considering the length of time that the rain's been going on. For it not to be completely washed out is a good sign, and makes for doing this without getting my feet absolutely sopping wet. Well, continue on. I'm about halfway around this loop, and I've apparently come to the spillway here that empties out from the dam, which I'm assuming is on the other side of this hill. I think there's a path that I could be following up there, but the route I'm on took me down here at the base of the dam, so we'll probably get a view of the lake as we continue to circle around. But still continue to be a good day out here. The rain has pretty much ended. Still pretty overcast. Did get surprised by two guys on bikes that came down the trail. I think they're probably out here camping or something, because it was near a campground when they came on, and maybe they didn't see the sign up by the visitor center indicating that the trails are closed to bikes today. But that as it may be, I'm continuing on, making my way around in the woods here, and just enjoying the quiet. Well, I'm on a section of the trail now referred to as the Monster Mile. I guess for bike riders it is listed as an advanced trail, and there was a bypass that was marked as easy for those who aren't quite up to it. But I'm guessing that an advanced trail for bike riding shouldn't prove as much of a challenge for someone hiking. It's a little easier pace for us, and obstacles can be overcome or avoided easier than when proceeding at the pace of a bicycle. So we'll see how this Monster Mile pans out for me, and what condition I'm in at the end of it. So far, nothing more advanced than many of the other bike trails I've been on. Well, I finished that Monster Mile. Not too monstrous in my opinion. And I'm actually going to cut back here and do that bypass, because it looks like the bypass actually takes me to a trail that runs alongside the lake. So get a little bit extra distance and some nice views hopefully. So we'll see how that goes as I make my way over there. Well, as anticipated, this trail is bringing me alongside the lake shore fairly close. At least good enough to get some good sights of the lake here through the trees in these fall conditions. Now, the lake, I'm not getting those picturesque reflective views like I've had recently up at Lake Altoona. With today's weather, overcast, a little bit of a breeze, the lake's got kind of a quiet moodiness to it, which has its own appeal and is pleasant to experience. I'm glad the rain moved off so I can appreciate it. But yeah, continue to wind my way around the lake shore back up to a trail junction before looping back and continuing on from where I came out of the Monster Mile section. About 7.5 miles in so far. Figure I've probably got somewhere between 2.5 to 3 miles to go, but I could be way off. We've seen over the course of the year that my distance estimations on trail are not always the most accurate, but I'm still enjoying it out here. I think I've still got plenty of time to finish it out before sunset, so that's what I'm going to do. Well, I'm all done with my little loop back and have reconnected with the main trail that I was following. Past some utility line green spaces and back in the woods. So it is starting to get to the point where I gotta make sure I'm keeping a good pace and not stopping for any unnecessary delays. One of the things that's kind of slowed me down a little bit today is I'm actually working. I've got something going on at work. It's pretty big, and I've been trying to keep in communication with all of that. Sad when you have to bring work out on the trail, but sometimes it's a necessity of life. Fortunately, my connection out here has, for the most part, been strong enough for me to be able to stay in contact. But I couldn't pass up a Saturday hiking opportunity, even with what's going on. So hopefully everything's at a calm spot right now, and I can focus on putting my steps down and finishing this out while I still got daylight. And that's what I'm going to do. Well, I'm just about there, so I'm gonna go ahead and close the video out before I get too close to the road and get all the road noise. Further sign that at a casual glance I can't estimate my distance remaining when looking at the All Trails map. Remember when I said 2.5, maybe 3 miles to finish? Well, right now I'm sitting at 5 miles from that point, and I've probably got another somewhere between quarter and a half mile left to get back to the parking lot. So, you know, my trend continues. But I am I'm glad I did the hike today. Now I won't say that this hike has given me the same level of joy and you know, pleasure that some of my more recent hikes have. It's been more of a I'm glad I did it because of the challenges I faced to, you know, get out here, deal with the elements, deal with the distractions from work, you know, and one additional challenge, you know, so I guess I'll put it as a challenge. The trail today has felt very alone. Now, yeah, I've seen a handful of people out here, but it took me, I was probably 2/3 of the way through the hike before it hit me what was making it seem so isolated. The absolute lack of activity of wildlife. You know, I've been used to, you know, squirrels continually around, scurrying in the leaves and underbrush off to the side of the trail. I've seen lots of deer lately. I've seen, you know, seen and heard various birds, whether it's waterfowl, birds of prey like the owl, so I've seen recently, or songbirds, and even insects and, you know, spiders. And there's just been nothing out here today. I don't know if it's just the weather has kind of gotten everything, you know, bunkered down and still for the day, but there's just been nothing out here to accompany me. So I am dealing with that, and you know, it just makes for a different experience. You know, a lot of my hikes have been isolated from other people, but I've never felt really alone. Today had a little bit of that feeling. So, but I'm almost done, just about up to the road, and got a short hike over to the parking lot from here. I think, yeah, over here, this is the remains of the original Fort Yargo, I believe, which is what the park is named for. So, but yeah, you know, I'm glad I had the hike today, and I'm proud of myself for stretching the distance. It looks like I'm gonna have somewhere between 12.5 and 13 miles today, which is great for where I need to be. But we'll close it out here. Thanks for coming along with me tonight, or today, and we will see you on the next trail.